Good day, everyone. We are the Group 11, and today we would like to request you all to watch this video as we present to you our topic about Sternberg's successful intelligence theory and WICS model. But first, let me introduce to you the proponent of this theory. Robert J. Sternberg is a cognitive psychologist who is currently the provost and professor of psychology at the Oklahoma State University. As a youngster, he had difficulty with intelligence tests and did not perform well on such tests, which led him to come up with a triarchic theory of intelligence in the 1980s. From his complicated triarchic theory, it later on evolved into a simpler one, the successful intelligence theory. According to Sternberg, successful intelligence is the ability to succeed in life, given one's own goals within one environmental context. It is maximizing one's own strengths not only to adapt to one's environment, but also to contribute significantly to society. Successful intelligence theory has 4 skills. First is the memory skill. It helps us recall facts and pieces of information. It helps us retain the knowledge we acquire, which is needed to begin thinking creatively. One cannot apply knowledge which one cannot remember. Ways to enhance memory skills. First is retrieval. It is attempting to recall an idea, method, or technique from memory. The second is elaboration. It is putting a new idea into your own words. The third is interleaving, working on a variety of things at once. The fourth is generation. It is trying to give an answer before an answer is given to you. The fifth is reflection, taking a few moments to review what happened with a project or meeting. The sixth is mnemonics, using an acronym or image to recall something. And the last one is calibration, getting feedback that reveals your ignorance to you or know what you don't know.
The second skill of successful intelligence theory is analytical skills. It helps the person determine if a certain idea is good. Analysis is important before one can think of new and better ideas. Examples of analytical skills include logical reasoning, problem solving, critical thinking, research, financial analysis, report analysis, data collection, and brainstorming.
The third skill of successful intelligence theory is the creative skills. It allows a person to come up with a new idea, usually to answer a need or solve a problem. It makes one flexible and able to adjust to changes in one situation. Creative skills are the abilities that have potential to create significant value. This is associated with talents such as art, where there is a great difference in the value from one work to the next. Examples of creative skills include art, crafts, creative leadership, design, critical thinking, music, innovation, visual communication, and thinking.
The last skill of successful intelligence theory is practical skills. It enables a person to apply what one has learned. It also allows one to carry through or implement a plan. Practical intelligence, on the other hand, makes us apply what we have learned. It gets us to actually do what needs to be done. The examples of practical skills are speed reading, art of delegating, learning to play an instrument, prioritizing tasks, mastering body language, videography skills, mental clarity, and learning humor.
The theory of successful intelligence points that some students who do not do well in conventional courses may, in fact, have the ability to succeed if they are taught in a way that better fits their patterns of abilities.
It is vital that we remember what we learn, that is memory. Use critical thinking to evaluate the things we learn, that is analytical. Be innovative in finding better ways of doing things and solving problems, that is creative. And apply and put to action what we learn, that is practical.
In collaboration with other prominent psychologists, Sternberg proposed the WICS model, which stands for Wisdom, Intelligence, Creativity, and Synthesize.
In this model, intelligence is viewed as a set of fluid abilities to learn from experience and to adapt to one's surroundings. Individuals possess abilities that can be nurtured into competencies and further cultivated into expertise. The WICS is a more recent model of how humans think and reason that can help us understand how students will learn most effectively.
So, your role as a teacher is not to educate the mind alone, but to educate the soul as well.
So, let's continue on how Sternberg proposed WICS model in education, in which it has the characteristics that develops the following. So, first, it develops analytical intelligence. It is to ascertain whether the ideas are good ones. So, in analytical intelligence, it refers to the ability to complete academic, problem-solving tasks such as those used in traditional intelligence tests. And these types of tasks usually present well-defined problems that have only a single correct answer, and it is useful to help predict future academic success. So second is in practical intelligence. It is to implement and persuade others to value ideas. So when we talk about practical intelligence, it involves being able to problem solve with respect to daily tasks, such as knowing how to delegate work effectively to others. So third is the creativity. It is to generate novel and useful ideas for leadership. So in creative intelligence, it involves reacting successfully to new situations and being able successfully produce new ideas. And last is wisdom. It is to ensure the ideas help achieve ethnically based common good over long and short term. So when we talk about wisdom, it is the use of one's intelligence and experience as mediated by values towards the achievement of a common good through a balance. In using WICS model, it must include the use of admission, instruction, and assessment. So one way that you can apply the WICS model is by using admission, instruction, and assessment when you reflect and make choices in the tasks and activities that will give to teach and assess your students. And your choice can be based on the preferences and strengths of your learners. So you may choose to teach analytically, creatively, practically, as well as to teach for wisdom. First, how do we teach analytically? So, in teaching analytical, it is the way making students use critical thinking, designing tasks and activities that provide opportunity for the learners to analyze, critique, judge, compare and contrast, evaluate, and assess. Second, how do you teach creatively? In teaching creativity, it is important for you to encourage and sustain your students' creative ideas. And remember to be an example to them by taking the risk to share your own creative ideas. Design tasks and activities that help students to create, invent, discover, imagine if, suppose that, and predict. Third, how do you teach practically? In teaching practically, it should be mindful in real-life situations where students can use what they learn to meet their own and also other practical needs. The design tasks and activities that allow students to apply, use, put into practice, implement, employ, and render practical what they know. So last is, how do you teach wisdom? In teaching wisdom, it is important that our learners to balance their own needs with the needs of other people and also world or environment. It is developing learners' consistency act based on positive ethical values. So, you teach for wisdom when you are able to move your students to try to find a common good, see things from others' point of view, balance your own interest with those of others and of institutions, look at the long term as well as the short term, reflect about how can Com base his every decisions on positive ethical values, and last is to appreciate that in life, what is seen as true and effective may vary over time and place. As Sternberg and his colleagues proposed, they tried out and studied creative ways of doing student admission as well as assessing students' learning. And based on their studies, the WICS model was successful for teachers and their learners because it celebrated the differences of learners through a supportive learning environment. It made students remember better what they learned. It builds on the strength of the learners and strengthen the motivations of the learners.
That's all, and thank you so much for watching. We hope you have learned from the topic we presented. God bless!